Human resource management is the most appropriate name to deal with the human capital, as it highlights the significance of employees in any organization. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Ms. Sarika Joshi, Assistant Professor at AISSMS College of Hotel Management and Catering Technology. I welcome you to the series based on human resource management. The part 1 video was based on evolution of human resource management. In that particular video, it was discussed that the scope of personnel function was criticized due to the hire and fire policy of the organization. The concept of human resource management has evolved through various stages of industrial revolution, trade union, scientific management, and human relations. Today's video, Human Resource Management Series Part 2, is based on Introduction to Human Resource Management. Let's have a look. What is human resource? Let's first understand. Before that, let's understand what is a resource. Well, a resource is something that you need to produce anything. It could be a material as we talk of the resource, or it could be even a money as a resource. And most importantly, it can be a human which is needed in a particular process as a resource. When we say human or when we say people as a resource, which people are we talking about? Are we talking about the customers of the organization, or we are talking about the vendors in the organization? Well, we are talking here about the people inside the company or those who work for the organization, as we call them employees. Well, what's the problem with the resource? Any resource, whether it's a material or money, what happens with that? In the process, a material or any resource is being utilized and thus it gets exhausted. But when we refer to human as a resource, instead this resource is getting utilized in the whole process. And that's why we now name it as a capital, or rather a human capital instead of a human resource. Because once you use this capital, which is a human, in a right way, it grows in a right direction and it is helpful for the productivity or the improvement of the organization. So companies ideally should name it as human capital management instead of a human resource management. In this session, we are typically going to see what is human resource management or human capital management. Well, but as we have discussed earlier, the evolution has occurred and things have changed. So we need to understand a few things or a few terms before we go ahead with understanding of human capital management. The first thing that we are going to understand is innovation. Well, look at the figure here. You can see a very old model of a telephone. Later came in and better digitalized telephonic model, which was followed by a cell phone, and now we have a smartphone. Well, when Apple produced this particular series of smartphone, it is not that they are going to stop here. They are definitely going to produce each time a new series or a new model to come up with. Because if they do not do so, the company is going to stop there. That means the thing here to know is every company, if it has to sustain, has to produce a new thing every time if it has to sustain in the market. It does not go beyond this, they will lose the market very soon. Things now and things after, say, 10 years are definitely going to change as innovation is the trend. Well, what has innovation to do with the humans in the organization? We have to think about this innovation, about the changing world which is occurring around us all the time. So, what is changing exactly? Let's see and understand that. When things change or when people have to change things, they have to think of many changes. Let's have some of these prominent changes that takes place around us all the time. The skills of the people are changing. We cannot say today that we can do away with the technical skills and that we don't want to imbibe them when we are at our workplace. They have become the most prominent skill and which were not the case 10 years back. Along with the skills, the mindset of the people is also changing. People nowadays want to work smart rather than working hard. They believe that they want to grow faster in the race, and in this whole thing, the competition is increasing. Along with the competition, changing are the competencies that people need to acquire. A person who's multitasking will definitely be absorbed or will be taken up by a company as compared to any other person. With the companies and the competencies of the people, definitely the tools and the machinery is also changing. Technology has made prominent changes in the kind of machinery that we use today. Robots are in picture and we are talking about having them even in a hospitality industry. As products around us change with the technology, we have seen an example of a telephone just now. Take another example. Take an example of vehicles. We have e-vehicles today. These are eco-friendly and has been designed to keep the environment sustainability in mind. And this mind is nothing but the human mind which is applicable. Along with the products and the competencies of the people, must change is the qualification of people. Company will definitely prefer those who are highly qualified and possess all necessary skills to sustain in any particular job. When we say people, we realize that demographies are also changing. I mean to say here that the age group of people who are working in the industries today is definitely not going to remain the same 10 years down the line. The young talent that we have today is definitely going to change 10 years down the line, and we will have different set of people with different age, different competencies and different talent. Talent, as we say, people use this potential in the company and against they get paid. Thus, the demand for their talents today more than their time or their qualification. It's not that you possess a degree and you go out in the market to grab a job and that's over. You need not study further. No, definitely not. It's a lifelong learning that is expected out of the employees now if they have to sustain in the competitive market. Not to forget, with all the above changes, also changing are the challenges around us. Look at the current situation of the COVID-19 pandemic. This challenge is the biggest challenge which has been faced by the current situation right now. The changes and the innovation, we've also been using this term which we say globalization. We use this term very often. So, what exactly does globalization mean here? We need to understand this as a role of human resource management. First and foremost, we have global markets now. Now, when we say global market, that means a small city or a small town also, or for that matter, any place in the metro city also has clients which are international. Though the setup could be small, they are connecting with the international clients all the time. We have multinational companies. These companies have clients which are sitting abroad. In fact, they also have employees from various other countries who work for their project. This is what we also call as diverse team. So, in current scenario, We have diverse team wherein we have people with different culture, people with different talent who are working for the same project or in the same organization, and at the same time we have international customers who are sitting way up apart from us, and we are dealing with them in and out for our business market. This is a very important point to be understood and realized over here. Another mega trend, we call it as a Web 2.0. Well, we all know what is web. It's an internet that we know it by its name. So what has changed with the internet? With the internet, communication has become easier and simpler. Right now, I am talking to you all because of this web or the internet connection that I have or that I can use to produce this video. Today, anyone and everyone can share information with the help of our social media. Let it be Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter, Pinterest, anyone and everyone around us currently is sharing information, is sharing knowledge, and is talking to each other. We can think of ourselves without web? No, we can't. The next most important is the value change. Values have changed. What we have seen 10 years prior and what we see today is change. The way our grandparents and parents used to work and the way that we work or the kind of culture that we have at our workplace is changed. Our mindset has changed, our values have changed, our emotional quotient has brought in a big change. With so many changes, what I want to mention here is so kind of innovation, changes in the skill set, mindset, products, technology, tools, challenges, globalization, internet, and of course the values of people. So changed is the role of the human resource management. So far, we have seen this, and this is definitely going to bring in the change in the role of human resource management. Their expectation from the employees and the employees' expectation from the human resource management has got a very big shift now. We are going to see this exactly in my next upcoming video, part 3, which is again based on the introduction to human resource management. We have come to the end of this particular session. I have mentioned the references which I used in this presentation on this slide. I thank the viewers for watching this particular video. I request you to click for the quiz link which is given in the YouTube description box to gain more inputs on this particular topic.